In all things of nature is something of the marvelous. Chaos theory says that small input changes may lead to even bigger changes later. Chaos is necessary for maintaining order in nature and actually promotes nature's tendency towards self-organization. Some natural systems, such as the weather, are so sensitive to even small local fluctuations that theoretically, a butterfly moving its wings on one continent can influence the weather on another. This is called the butterfly effect. Such is the current state of education today. Technology has produced chaos of unprecedented proportions. Even minimal technical skills can have far-reaching results. Add some chaos to your life and put your world in order. Chaos can be beautiful. Futurist Ray Kurzweil predicts we will not be experiencing 100 years of progress in the 21st century. It will be more like 20,000 years. There may eventually be a merger of biological and non-biological intelligence, immortal software-based humans, and ultra-high levels of intelligence that expand outward in the universe at the speed of light. The Da Vinci Institute, a leading authority on futurism, says the average house in 2010 will have 100 computers embedded in all kinds of appliances and amenities, and mostly networked to each other and to the web. He who controls the weather will control the world. He who controls gravity will control the universe. He who controls time will never be around. Sometime between 2010 and 2020, it will become clear that human beings are no longer the smartest things on Earth. This will be profoundly disturbing for many. Talking computers will replace written language by 2050. Premier futurists Heidi and Alvin Toffler describe nanodevices as smaller than a billionth of a meter that can monitor a living cell's function by sensing minute changes in electrical charges on its surface. The most fascinating nanotechnology applications are in medical science, where nanobots might serve as programmable antibodies to destroy bacteria and viruses. Medical therapies based on nanotechnology will reach clinical use before 2025. Ultra-tiny machines will monitor internal processes, remove cholesterol plaques from arteries, and destroy cancer cells before they form tumors. Will computers ever be as smart as people? As the human brain? According to futurist Ray Kurzweil in his book The Singularity is Near, computers will achieve singularity or equal intelligence to humans. How much will it cost us for computers to become that smart? We achieve one human brain capability for $1,000 around the year 2023. We achieve one human brain capability for 1 cent around the year 2037. We achieve one human race capability for $1,000 around the year 2049. We achieve one human race capability for 1 cent around the year 2059. Within a few decades, machine intelligence will surpass human intelligence, leading to the singularity of the present day has already produced chaos. Technological change so rapid and profound, it represents a rupture in the fabric of human history. Major computer companies are pouring research money into effective computing, examining methods including eye tracking, biometrics, and virtual retinal displays. They draw a display much like a television directly onto the retina of the eye. The user sees what appears to be a conventional display floating in space in front of them. What was once science fiction is now reality. In his book The World is Flat, Thomas Friedman explains globalization, how countries, companies, communities, governments, societies, and individuals must adapt to the changing environment. He says that every young American today would be wise to think of himself or herself as competing against every Chinese, Indian, Brazilian, and others for jobs in a flat world. Because in a flat world, there's no such thing as an American job. There's just a job, and in more cases than ever before, it will go to the best, smartest, most productive, or cheapest worker, wherever he or she resides. The key to thriving in a flat world is figuring out how to make one untouchable, meaning job security, untouchable from outsourcing. Alvin Toffler said in his 1970 book, Future Shock, that Francis Bacon's thought, knowledge is power, could be translated into contemporary terms, that in our social setting, knowledge is change. In his 1980 book, The Third Wave, Toffler identified the three waves of our recent history: agrarian, industrial, and the new information age. The World Future Society makes a number of thought-provoking forecasts. Members were inspired by Toffler's ideas. Edward de Bono, futurist and expert on lateral thinking, wrote, "You can analyze the past, but you have to design the future." In terms of education, Toffler said, "The illiterate of the future will not be the person who cannot read. It will be the person who does not know how to learn." According to the National Education Association, the amount of money required to repair ailing school facilities in the United States, build new facilities where they're needed, and outfit schools with modern technology is approaching $322 billion, or 10 times the amount states are currently spending on schools. In Power Shift by Alvin Toffler, the focus is on the power struggles to come, in business, in politics, and in global affairs, as a new system of wealth creation clashes with today's vested power blocks. Power is shifting from its traditional basis in violence and wealth towards a new dependence on knowledge, and especially knowledge about knowledge.
Time to go in, Oliver. It's time for more knowledge.
Knowledge?
Do you know what knowledge is?
Knowledge is E to the second power.
He thinks he's so smart.
Have you been getting ahead of us again, Oliver? Thank you.
Lauren, would you please take up the milk money?
Yes, ma'am. The new currency is knowledge.
Whit, could you please show the class where China is?
Here, just northeast of India. Deep Blue Sea makes global sense.
It's quite enough, Oliver.
Miss Pritchett, what's a nanosecond?
A paradigm shift is necessary in education to achieve the goals of the coming wave. Just as the traditional model of the one-room schoolhouse lost its usefulness, so has the industrial age school of the recent past, where students were merely fed information. In their new book, Revolutionary Wealth, Heidi and Alvin Toffler say, education is more than occupational preparation, but it surely cheats students if it seeks to ready them for jobs that won't be there. Yet today's mass production schools, out of sync with the real economy, still mainly emphasize rote, repetitive, factory-like learning. We now have wave conflict over public education, and the $400 billion the present system costs every year, not counting the societal cost of its failure and its indirect cost to business in terms of an ill-prepared workforce. The cost will only escalate in personal and political passion in the years ahead. Bill Gates says that America's high schools are obsolete. By obsolete, I don't just mean that our high schools are broken, flawed, and underfunded. By obsolete, I mean that our high schools, even though they're working exactly as designed, cannot teach our kids what they need to know today. This isn't an accident or a flaw in the system. It is the system. How do we bridge the gap between the past to the future? Perhaps with this simple little bridge. If out of chaos comes organization and stability, perhaps we should examine what happened here in the year 1995. It's only natural that educational reform would occur in Arkansas, the natural state, in a tiny town called Greenbrier. Tim Stevenson, a retired policeman-turned-educator, was thrown into a difficult classroom, teaching 20 at-risk students. He was driven to find a new way to help them reach their potential. Amazing things occurred here as he implemented a new strategy. Stevenson developed a program based on student-centered, project-based learning because of this exact bridge. The class saw a need for the bridge to help students over this small stream, and a sense of community was born. The traditional classroom was not working for these students. Building the bridge became an activity where the students could work together as a team accomplishing a goal. Out of this experience, the E.A.S.T initiative was created. It became evident that computers and technology were an excellent way for the students to have the hands-on educational experience they needed to complete the project. Stevenson knew that William Kilpatrick was right when he said, "We learn what we live." The students learned to research their projects, take on personal responsibilities, and manipulate software applications in innovative ways. Mr. Stevenson took a hands-off approach during the bridge building project because he remembered Kilpatrick saying, "As teachers, we must make ourselves progressively useless." Stevenson became their guide, their facilitator, their cheerleader. E.A.S.T students learned more relevant skill sets stressing understanding, collaboration, and a team approach to problem solving.
It's important to play well with others.
In The World is Flat, Thomas Friedman says that the first and most important ability one can develop in a flat world is the ability to learn how to learn, to constantly absorb and teach oneself new ways of doing old things or new ways of doing new things. Friedman also says IQ, intelligence quotient, still matters, but curiosity quotient and passion quotient matter even more. Passionate kids are self-educators and self-motivators. No one works harder than a curious kid. E.A.S.T classroom results have been nothing short of miraculous. E.A.S.T students today are self-starters, team players, technologically advanced, community-oriented, and confident with off-the-chart self-esteem. The E.A.S.T initiative has progressed to include project-based learning in animation, computer-aided design, engineering design, visualization, database design, and web page design. And even geographic information systems. In 2004, E.A.S.T students in California won first place in an applications contest sponsored by Geospatial Solutions magazine, winning over entries from big corporations, universities, and government entities. We have come a long way since the time Lewis and Clark first mapped out the point dividing the East from the West in the year 1815. Today, we are clearly headed east.
What started in one school in north central Arkansas has grown to include schools across the country. What started in one high school has expanded down into the elementary and middle grades and up into the post-secondary world. But what started in school has grown to encompass a true understanding of how to engage students in their communities. E.A.S.T is growing into a true engagement between the learner of all ages, the world around them, and their future. Not just their future today, but the future that it stands far in the distance. E.A.S.T is an opportunity for all students and for all learners to begin to take advantage of the incredible world around them.
When we look at E.A.S.T from the perspective of the 21st century, it's more than a direction. It's an organization that's built around children doing amazing projects inside their communities. And these projects often involve technology. They can range anywhere from map making to film making and to building new community centers or taking a look at the history of people who live in their area. Absolutely amazing projects that are done by these children all over the United States. But the most important part about E.A.S.T isn't the projects that the children are doing, it's the skills that they're developing, skills they will need for their life in a very dynamic future. From the very beginning, they start out collaborating with each other, working in teams, identifying challenges and problems that they can address, going out and seeking support for the solution of these problems, and then actually implementing things, crafting things that are going to make a difference in their communities and ultimately a difference in the world. And because of the technological component of E.A.S.T, children, once they go through this program, have more than just a passing awareness of these tools. Children.
Thomas Friedman says, in a world upended by outsourcing, deluged with data, and choked with choices, the abilities that matter most are now closer in spirit to the specialties of the right hemisphere: artistry, empathy, seeing the big picture, and pursuing the transcendent.
MFA is now the new MBA.
E.A.S.T students demonstrate their expertise at collaboration with the My Community Project, a film team comprised of student, government, and business leaders. They produce films about important Arkansas stories.
Aircrafts dominated the skies on the morning of December 7, 1941. The inhabitants of Hawaii slowly awakened to their Sunday morning call. Never would they suspect that forever their nation's history would be changed.
E.A.S.T students gained worldwide attention with their documentary film on Japanese-American internment camps in the United States during World War II.
December 7, 1941.
E.A.S.T students at this elementary school in Little Rock obtained $80,000 in grants from area businesses and $2,500 in community donations to build a brand new playground, with 275 volunteers clocking over 2,500 hours of volunteer service. Our teachers turned facilitators are pleased with their new roles. Ongoing training is provided throughout the year. Training camps for students designed to teach specific skills and advanced applications are held continually at E.A.S.T Initiative headquarters in Little Rock. The annual E.A.S.T Conference is held to ensure the magic of E.A.S.T is spread and celebrated worldwide. E.A.S.T has moved into the college sector with the University of Arkansas at Little Rock's creation of the E.A.S.T Scholars Program, which endows a competitive scholarship for incoming E.A.S.T students. More good press. E.A.S.T is named a world-class model in a follow-up feature by Converge magazine. E.A.S.T is supported by a national board of directors and has become a charitable nonprofit organization. How successful has E.A.S.T been? Metis, a premier educational research firm in New York City, was hired to answer just such a question. Check out this website for up-to-the-minute data. In 2001, E.A.S.T was recognized as an outstanding educational effort at the International Global Junior Challenge Exposition in Rome, Italy.
Deep literacy does make global sense.
E.A.S.T was named an innovative initiative by the United States Department of Labor and a model program by the International Center for Leadership in Education at its 9th Annual Model Schools Conference. The United States Department of Education also named E.A.S.T as a model program in the initiative toward a new golden age in American education. Many golden careers had their origins with E.A.S.T. Members of the E.A.S.T Alumni Association remember their past began with their E.A.S.T experience.
Hi, my name's R.J. Martino. I started with the E.A.S.T program in 1998. I got a letter from a teacher that said that a new class was available called the E.A.S.T program. I was told about it and I was interested in the neat technology. I thought it was just going to be another classroom that you walked in and there's going to be a lot of technology. I was pleasantly surprised whenever I realized how it was not a traditional classroom at all. Teachers were more as motivators and the students really drove their own path. While I was there, I learned some of the latest technologies, great collaboration skills, and great communication skills that I went on to use as my first job whenever I was 17 as a network administrator for a local ad agency. While in college in 2001, I started a company called iProv. iProv delivers IT services, custom solutions to businesses throughout Arkansas. We have over 100 clients and continue to deliver unique solutions for every problem available.
My lifelong learning process began my 9th grade year in high school, at Mena High School, when I was introduced into this thing that we call the E.A.S.T initiative. At first, I really wasn't for sure what I'd got into, but I quickly found out the E.A.S.T initiative is not your typical classroom, not a computer lab, nor a technology lab, but it's really a professional learning environment where students come in, are motivated to work on community service-based learning projects, and then they're equipped with the tools, the technologies, the resources to go out and complete significant community service-based projects. I like E.A.S.T because it equips students and it engages students within the community. After high school, I attended the University of Arkansas at Little Rock as an E.A.S.T scholar. Well, I was able to further my E.A.S.T learning experience by working on community service projects and also incorporating what I learned in E.A.S.T into my studies at the university.
When I began in E.A.S.T, I learned many skills that I would later use throughout my career. I began in E.A.S.T using GIS, and I went to school to be a geography major. Halfway through my college career, I realized that geography was not for me. What I really wanted to be was a teacher, so that I could take the skills that I had learned in E.A.S.T and the experiences that I had in E.A.S.T and give that opportunity that I had to other students.
When we started E.A.S.T class that first day, the very first year it all began, little did we know we were beginning a legacy. All the skills that I learned in E.A.S.T were very functional, and I knew I'd use them at some point, but when I showed up to college and had a job waiting for me because of the contacts I'd made, I never dreamed how much E.A.S.T would help me already. I worked for computing services for the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville for the entire 4 years that I went to school, and when I left there, after being drawn into a governor's speech thanks to my E.A.S.T
reaching your destination as a successful global player, then I suggest you start heading east.
Above all, East is a passion.
Oliver was right. East students became creative, intuitive, adaptable learners who could solve unpredictable real-world problems.
You can use all the quantitative data you can get, but you still have to distrust it and use your own intelligence and judgment. The future will be here in a zeptosecond. Don't worry, change is inevitable. The natural order of things. Change is good. Wait and see.
I looked around, my world came crashing down. I remember it well. Sons and daughters left home and had their own. And it's a hard one to tell when I think about the memories and photographs and all the hard-learned lessons. I wanna give my hand